Hello, everybody. This is Todd with Duct Tape Hanger. Happy Wednesday, October 15th to you all. Hope you all are doing well. We're making some more progress on the Byron Christen Eagle. Doing pretty good. We're still working on the fuse a little bit. I had to do a little bit more, just mixed up some more epoxy. There's the servo trays too, by the way. Oop, I keep catching that stand. There's one tray. There's the other that we glued in. The big servo runs the elevators. This will be throttle and rudder on this side. I did update and got rid of those old experts and put a couple high techs in there. I had to add a little more epoxy down here around that block. And there was a couple cracks back here behind it, you can see. I wanted to epoxy those as well and do a little filling around that block and stuff. So I put some tape in there and filled in some epoxy to keep it from running out, and I can pull the tape later. A little bit of the tape might stick. It's not a big deal. It's going to be on the inside. Nobody's going to care. I got to figure out how I'm going to attach the canopy. They did it with hinges. You can see them here and here. They were like a Robart pin hinge that they drilled in and used a magnet here, and then the canopy would flip out like this. And I think I might do the same thing. I might drill in here. You can see where the hinge comes through a little bit right here on both sides. I might just cut the tops of these off and then drill in here beside it, in here a little bit. I'll set the canopy on there and mark it and do it that way. Might be the best way, putting it back on there. Then I can just kind of pop the canopy over on its side, and the magnet should still hold it. I mean, obviously it worked before, so why wouldn't it work again? They had to, obviously it broke or it cut when the fuselage broke in half. So looks like it was probably a battery pack back there. I think he had the receiver over here. There was some hooks in here on this side. I think that's where the receiver was. Could have been the battery. I don't know. I'm gonna have to figure it out when it's time to balance. But thing we're gonna be working on today is the motor. Last night when I got home from work, I kind of messed around with the motor a little bit, and I'm gonna put the original 50 that was on it back on it. I'll save the 52 for something else. Since this is already on the mount, the Byron mount and everything, I just didn't want to mess with it. It's already on there. It ain't broke, don't fix it. So this is the old Byron adjustable mount that they had. You could get them in all different lengths and sizes, and this is how they did their mounts back then. I really don't know what this is on there for. I'm gonna get that out of the way, because that really don't need to be on there for anything that I know of. Yeah, so this was the old Byron mount. I pulled the carburetor. I thought it was going to be a lot nastier than it was, and it really wasn't that bad. You can see in here, let's see, get you in here close. Piston looks good. No major grime or anything on it. You know, looks pretty clean in there. The motor itself actually looks pretty clean. Here, I actually get a better look at the cylinder on the exhaust side. But she's got some run time on her, but not bad. It don't look bad. This does have a spring starter on it. Oh, I bet that was for the kill switch. He had that epoxied on there, I can see. I'll have to clean all that off, and so I can put kill switch back on it. But anyway, we're going to go ahead and put that back on there since it's already on. I pulled the carburetor yesterday, and I had to find a muffler. So I went through all my mufflers. I bought a bunch of them in Perry, it's a big Perry swap, and I found this one. And this one don't look like it's ever been used. She's clean. And I think, well, maybe it has. It does have some grime on it, so maybe it has been grand. But I paid like $5 a piece for a bunch of mufflers, or it might even have been a big bag for 20. I don't remember now. But I didn't pay much for them. But I thought for that price, I might as well buy them. Well, right here, that saved me $50 by buying that. Oh, speaking of money-wise, I bought all these Byrons. I kind of tell everybody what I got in them. I bought 5 airframes, including this one that was busted in half, and 1 kit for a Christen Eagle. He did throw in a crash Sequoia that has some parts I can use, some hardware and stuff on it. I paid $1,000 for all of them. It wasn't a bad deal. At the time, I was a little nervous on the price. The more I look at the stuff, the more potential it has. That was for a stagger wing, a GB, the Christen Eagle, a Sequoia, and a Husky. Oh, now here, I'll show you the Husky. Here's the Husky. I got it sitting here in the corner. The Husky is the best looking one out of the group. It just needs cleaned up, but she is really pretty airplane. It is really nicely done. You know, all glass, you know, fiberglass fuselage, painted, just beautiful airplane. It's got a lot of potential. It's got a stuck Super Tiger 3000 in it. I am gonna put a probably a Zenoa G38 in it. That plane is really sharp. I figured that was out of the way I evaluated the cost, is I figured that one was worth $400 to $500. In usable condition, maybe I should say three to $400, because I have changed motors and stuff in it, and the others kind of made up the difference. I didn't know if this one was going to be salvageable or not until I got started, and the Byron group on Facebook definitely saved me, made it a lot easier for me, because I wasn't sure about gluing this together. And what they said glue it, it'll be fine. It's never going to break in that same spot again. So very happy with the guys that helped me out there. So I've got, I don't know, about $180 in each airframe, $150, whatever it is, in each airframe, plus the time and parts and stuff to put it together. So with this one, I get this. If this motor runs good, I do have a kit. We're gonna take this, and first thing we're gonna do, cut this old line off of here. I took it apart last night. It was actually cleaner than I thought. It did not have a screen in here, so somebody has been in it before, pulled the screen. I do have a bag of screens, but we're gonna blast, carb clean and blast this thing. It is so sticky and nasty. We're gonna clean this thing all up. We're gonna do best we can with it, and I got a carb kit we'll put in it, and we'll go from there. But and then put that back on the motor. Probably put the motor on back on tomorrow or so. I want to make sure that epoxy dries and settles. I don't want to mess with this airframe till that's done. We'll have to add a little bit. Somebody added some epoxy here. These are bad about flexing. If you've ever had any of these old Byrons, you put wood blocks in here when you build it for these to go through. All the paint's flaking off of it. But you go in here, and I'm going to put this side over here has got a pretty good gap. I'm going to take some of that clear Gorilla Glue and run it around that and fill that in and kind of keep that from moving some more. But that's pretty standard on a lot of these old Byrons, the way they went together. But yeah, so next thing we're going to do, we're going to tear this apart, and we're going to go ahead and clean this out. I'm not going to use this filler. I do not use these at all. For the fact of, if this gets gummy at all, you'll start sucking air. I'm not a big fan of these Sullivan fillers. They're okay on nitro, if you want to use nitro, but I'd never use them on any gas stuff. They just get too corroded too easily. So let's snip it off of there to start with. Oh God, that line is hard. It's been on there since the 90s. So I'm going to cut this line off of this carb. Bring it down here so you can kind of see what I'm doing. I'm going to cut this line off of this carb, my nice messy table. Yeah, I'm not real organized. If you haven't been able to tell yet from these videos, we're going to... It's usually how I get that old line off there is I'll put a slit in it, and it'll come right off. Oh, I have a feeling this is going to be all plugged up. So I'll take a T-pin. I got one right here. I'll take a T-pin and I'll get in here. Well, that's not as bad as I thought. Usually you'll fill it. I actually don't feel too bad. I think it'll be okay. Yeah, I think she'll be all right. Usually you'll get a lot of green scum, and you'll see some little things flaking off here a little bit. Take this old rag here, wipe off some of this stuff. But this thing is so sticky. This carb is gnarly. All right, let me grab my screwdrivers here, and we'll pop these covers off. Like I say, I did this last night. Pop this off of here. This is the pump side, or the not the pump side, but the diaphragm, or pump. Yeah, it's pump side. I'm sorry, what am I saying? We're going to take that off. Always make sure the smooth side always goes against your carb when you do these kits. Sometimes these are 2-piece, and I think this one was, yeah, it was 2-piece as well. You can see where it's peeling. You can peel this apart. It's 2-piece. The smooth side always goes down. But I figured this was going to be all grime and nasty in here. Bring it up here where you can see it. And it's really not that bad. But we're going to set that down here. We're going to change that. On this side, this is where your needle, everything is. I'm going to clean all these screws are nasty. I'm going to put them in a cap and spray them all down. And clean all that up. But this stuff needs some major cleaning here. It is nasty. This side is gummy. Like I say, the whole carb is pretty nasty. Nasty and gummy here. But yeah, I pulled this off last night. All this, the needle moves nicely. Get this up here. Needle doesn't have anything in it. The jet, I should say. These are your needles. But all that moves nasty. This would probably work again. It's not, you can hear it clicking, but it's not too bad really. It's actually pretty good. I thought it was going to be all warped and twisted, you know, from sitting all these years, but it really wasn't too bad. Okay. Now we're going to take these needles out so we can blast through there too. Most of the time, your needles, when you start over again, your low is usually 1.5, 1 3/4 is where I kind of usually start. Sometimes I'll go 1 3/4 on both, and that way I can adjust them. Take a look at the tip of the needle here. Pretty clean. Sometimes you'll get some big globs of grime and stuff on them too when you pull them out. It'll get you in focus there. But oh, my dirty fingernail from work. That's how you know you're a man and you're out there working. What my dad used to say. But I think he just didn't like cleaning his fingernails. But here's your other needle. This is your high. And you're going to notice you can't put them in the wrong spots. See, they're two different size holes. You're not going to screw them up. They won't thread it. They're different size threads. So you can't mess them up putting them back on. Oh, did I lose the spring? I should have had a spring on it, didn't it? When I drop that, take a look here. Let's see here. Yeah, I should have had spring. I'm looking at some of my other carburetors here. Did I? When I dropped that needle, I lost spring here, huh? We'll have to do a little sweep up down here and see where it rolled off to. I got black, dark hardwood floors, and it's hard to see a dark spring sometimes. But I'll do that before we get into the cleanup. But yep, here we are, and we'll go out and blast her next. I'll come back when we're ready for that. All right, guys, we're going to start off with this one. Spray it outside. Use a glove. This stuff's kind of nasty. We're just going to spray everything down. Sorry, you can't see what we're doing here. Oop. I just got some O'Reilly's carbon choke cleaner. It's very reasonable and does a pretty good job. I just kind of use my thumb, get in there and clean out a little bit of the stuff. We're going to spray her out. And it usually gets her moving pretty good here. Usually gets everything cleaned out pretty decently. Get in there in the barrel here and clean all this out. And I think it was, what, that one? Go through all these jets, spray everything. Oop, that one come back at me. Make sure everything's flowing well. That's her pin. That's a pin. Oop, that one back at me again. You'll eat a little bit of it. Let's spray that one out here a little more. See, the more you clean this, the better off you are. And you can see how nice it's starting to really clean up. All that little debris and stuff that was on there. All this stuff's moving really nice. We'll let her dry out. I'm going to set her over here. I got a little bowl of the clean stuff. We're just going to spray this stuff down as well. Get in here, and this probably isn't that exciting for you, but we'll get in there. We'll get in there with a Q-tip in the house and clean some of that stuff up. But like, just get that sticky residue off a lot of that. See, this thing here's got a lot of nasty old stuff on it. And I did bring my screwdriver out, my screwdriver / scraper. And get some of that stuff out of there. Get some of that off of it. You can see it caked on there everywhere. But so you guys still flying? Where are all you guys from? I've seen some messages there where you guys are from all over the world, which I really appreciate. I really hope you guys kind of enjoy some of this content. Like I say, I'm no professional by any means. I just like to enjoy myself. Been in it a long time. I can do kind of the basic stuff. I'm not, like I always said in the others, I'm not going to win any trophies, but I'm going to go out and have some fun. And I've been thinking about, I have a hard time getting rid of some of this stuff that I've restored and got going. And I spent all last winter getting that 3rd scale Stinson ready to fly. And I flew it for the original owner this year down at Morristown, Indiana at one of their events. And it really got to the old guy that he got to finally see it fly. He started building it in 1988, and he finally got to see it fly, and it made his day. I actually won, I did win a trophy with that one. I won Best in Show at their fly-in with it. And I decided, I think it might be time to let that one go to the next guy that can kind of finish it the way they want. This way they can kind of do it. I've done my part getting it going. I'm not going to give it a full restoration. That's not going to be me. But there are guys out there that will. And that's what I want to see. I want to see somebody, I want that to be somebody's pride and joy again. And that's how I look. Oh, shit. That's how I look at these models. Is you got to get out there and enjoy them. That's what it's all about. And getting them back in the air and flying the hell out of them. And I about dropped the needle here, and it rolled off the hood of my truck here. So yeah, that's why you heard me have a nice little adjective in there of the situation I was in. But anyway, I want to see these planes get finished, and really, I did the part of getting it flying, getting it running, getting everything set up, and I think somebody out there can take it to the next step and really make something beautiful out of it. Like I say, I am not that guy. Now I'm going to take these, and I'm going to spray these down, and I'm going to have to probably wire wheel these. Oop. Maybe I shouldn't use the paper. Oh no, we're all right. See all that stuff? See all this changing colors? All that stuff starting to dissolve? I'm going to leave them set there for a little while. But yeah, I definitely want to get some of this stuff to somebody else can get it to the finish line. And I think I'm going to sell that big Stinson. Right now, the motor is at B&B Specialties. I flew it probably 30-40 flights this year, and the last time I flew it, I walked over, shut it off, and I couldn't get it to start again. It was kind of popping and carrying on, and was kicking the prop off, and now it won't even fire at all. And I tried a different ignition, I tried some other things, and it would not start for me. So I'm kind of thinking, well, they actually brought it to my attention that they think maybe it was the keyway in it might have broke. Could have sheared the keyway in it and threw it out of time. So I'm waiting for that to come back. I'll put that back on it and sell it as a package. And I don't ask for profit really on any of my stuff. I'll figure out exactly what I got in it, and I'll sell it for that. I'm not out to make anything on these airplanes. I just want to get them where they belong. I've got 35 giant scale planes. It's time to maybe move some of this stuff. I can't store them all the way I got it, and I've got these new Byron projects I want to finish. It's really time to start thinking about that for the future. Is somebody else's can put more into it than I did. And I think that's what needs to happen with these planes. There's nothing worse in my eyes than somebody that's just a collector and don't fly anything. It drives me nuts. These planes were built to fly. Get them out and fly them, in my opinion. If you're afraid to fly them, then put them somewhere they're going to be appreciated. These planes are not a retirement plan. These planes, it's a hobby. And all these guys that do that, if you're one of them, I'm sorry, but it just drives me crazy. I know it's my opinion, and you got yours as well, but it just bugs me. These things they're meant to be in the air. Send them where they're going to be appreciated. Let the guys have some good times with them. But all right, enough of my rant for now. I'm rambling. Weather's kind of chilly today, kind of overcast, so that's why the lighting's not the best out here outside today. But I'm going to go ahead and pause this. We'll get inside and we'll start putting stuff back together. All right, guys, we're back. I got all the parts dried off, cleaned up, as good as I think I need to be. I got a little package here of the screens from for Walbro. I got that from B&B Specialties. Bennett built. I've got 2 of these. I got to see which ones are which here. I got a full rebuild kit, and then I also have the carb and diaphragm kit for both of these. So those are both from B&B as well. So you ever need any parts for these old engines, man, they're the guys to get a hold of. So let's see what we got here. We are going to use, we've got a few different ones here. So see what we got. I think we're going to use that rubber one. And think it'll be like so, like that. On that, and then here is our cover. It goes on top. And it's going to have to go like this, I think. Yep. Okay, there's our cover for that. I got to put a screen in there first. I'm going to use some scissors here. Yes, I hear you, kitty. You got it rough. The old hanger cat there, not getting enough attention. If you hear him in the background sometimes. It's really a pretty good old fur ball. Okay, we only need one screen. We're going to set that down there. And that'll go in there. Okay. This can be kind of tricky sometimes. Getting these in there. Like that. Then I usually use, where is it at? I can use this, but we're going to push that down in there and seat it. Oh, see how it goes in there crooked? You don't want that. There we go. Oh, twisted on me again. I don't know if you can see this or not. Keeps twisting on me here. Let's try it this way. They make these a hair bigger than they should be. Oh, and then you do that. And, oh, man, I'm running my head into everything here. Freaking melon getting in the way here. So, see if we can get this to go down in there. Oh, come on. There we go. There we go. Screen is in. Get you a better look at it. Get here in the light. All right. Now, say, remember, flat goes on first. Flat goes on first, like that. I keep bumping that camera. Sorry, guys. Nope. Got to pay attention to what you're doing here, bud. Flat goes on first. Then this. And trying to get those holes to line up. See, sometimes it's easier to put it here on the top. Well, I don't like that. Let's try this one. There we go. That one fits better. Now, put that on there. There we go. We're on the lid. And then we can get our pins lined up. Oh, they come off of there. Get that back on there. Nothing like some carb gasket wrestling. There we go. There she's on there. We'll grab her screw. And screwdriver's in my pocket still. Sorry if this is boring, guys. Just in case you haven't done this, that's the only reason I'm doing this. Some of these videos can be a little long. I want to ask you guys, do you guys like the longer format like this, or do you like it where it's done in a quicker time period? That's up to you guys entirely. Here's our other one out of the kit. You guys let me know if you don't like this longer format. I can definitely start editing these videos down. Some of this can get a little monotonous, I'm sure. What kind of projects are you guys working on? Any winter builds for you guys that are in the northern hemisphere? You guys that are in nice weather, getting ready to start flying? Tell me all about it. I've been talking to a guy from Australia. He's got a stagger wing as well. He said he had to order wings from a guy here in the States, and he said the shipping and that cost him more than probably what they were worth, but he just can't get any parts there. And he said if you got to make something happen, you got to do it. So he says with the exchange rate and that, he said it hit him pretty hard. But really nice guy. Really good guy. I really like him. We've done a lot of talking. I met he was missing the interplane strut, so I did some video took some measurements and stuff for him. I said I don't have the MMs, but I can get you in the inches. And he said he's old school. He can run either one. So he said anything would help. So I sent him the info that he needed, and he was much appreciated. And ouch, damn it, right in my finger. So that felt good. Nothing like a screwdriver to the finger. Let you know you're still alive. You want to make sure these are good and seated. You don't want any air getting sucked in, causing you any issues. Same thing with this one. That one's about as tight as we're going to get it. All right. She's all back together other than putting the needle valves back in. And like I say, they're two different size threads. You're not going to mix them up. And I have no idea where that spring went. I pulled this spring off an old junk one that I had laying around. So we're going to run that all the way in. There she stopped. And then I'm going to back her off. There's one. And we're going to go about 3/4. So there's about 1 3/4. And this will get us close enough where we can start tuning. And sorry, I keep bumping that camera. I'm not used to working this close to the camera. We're going to do the same thing here. I'm actually going to go out about 2. So there's 1. There's 2 on the high. Get those set about where I wanted them there. All right. I'm going to put it back on the motor. Really nothing too fancy with that. You really don't need to watch that part. The next phase after this, we'll be putting the motor on the firewall, getting a fuel tank in her, and getting that secured. Put the landing gear cover back on, and tune your gas engines in a cowl. Because if you tune them outside the cowl, it's not going to run the same once you put the cowl on. Pressures change on these diaphragms and pumps, and guess what? They don't run the same, and you still have to tune it again. It's just something I've learned over the years. And but that's basic cleanup and change on a Walbro carburetor. Hope it helps some of you guys that maybe have never done it before. Other than that, we're good to go for now, boys. I appreciate it. You guys have a good day, man. Take her easy. Bye bye.